Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Jarek Brian Show. My name is Jarek, and on today's show, guys, we have a very special guest. We have Crypto Writer with Corgi Studios on the show today. And Crypto Writer, how you doing, buddy?
I'm doing pretty good, Jarek. It's great to be here. Definitely excited to talk about Corgi Studios and all the great things that we've got going on and coming.
Yeah, no, definitely. And before we get into all those things and all that great stuff you guys are doing, Crypto Writer, kind of give us your story and how you got all the way here to Web3.
Oh, me myself, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It was back in 19, and it was from a coworker of mine, and he was from Georgia, and I don't mean the state Georgia. I mean Georgia, the country.
Oh,
From
wow.
Europe. Yeah, so when it came to me, it was just like this new, like mind blowing thing. And I literally thought we were like extremely behind. And so I saw it and I'm like, and it was on the CDC app. So it was just all about tokens pretty much. And like, as soon as I saw it, I just had to kind of ape in. I definitely wouldn't have used those words back then, but yeah, that's kind of how I, got into crypto. And yeah, I kind of played with it for a month or two and then kind of put it down. It wasn't super excited on the token side. Um, and yeah, I just kind of gave it a break. Came back to it back in 21 when I kind of had a little bit more time. And yeah, just kind of dove in on some ICOs and got wrecked rugs, learned my lessons, had a bunch of fun, made money, and you know, um, just kind of went from there and started watching YouTube's videos, and ended up just kind of finding my way onto X and Twitter, and just kind of digging down into the layers of Web3, and eventually finding myself with NFTs and tokens. And that was that's pretty much how I got into it. It was pretty much from a buddy, and I just thought it was some crazy new thing because I mean he was just from a different country, and I'm like, what is going on here? Like, I better hop on this early, and or as soon as I learned, and I did. So
No, that's great. And I kind of got in on like the whole Deutschland. Everybody here knows that I got super wrecked on that and all that good stuff. So definitely excited about the upcoming cycle and the halving and everything like that that's coming up. But kind of give us more information on Corgi Studios and what exactly is Corgi Studios.
yeah, it's a great question, and I get this a lot. Corgi Studio is a platform. It's an NFT launchpad, NFT marketplace, and an NFT staking pool. So, essentially, what we have designed the entire idea on, or what On has designed the entire idea on, is a DIY platform. It's all do it yourself, pretty much. We want to really just hand the tools and resources to the creators, and just allow them to either launch their NFTs, control the secondary market side, and then also at the same time be able to reward their holders, with a staking pool. The launchpad, is all do it yourself. And it's quite cost effective as well. It's not nothing that's too extreme. And yeah, it's quite a great design, honestly. I get impressed every time I kind of dig deeper onto it. We've got like four different ways for creators to upload their collections, whether they're a trait collection or they're a one-of-one artist who wants to just display their gallery on our marketplace. And we firmly believe in actually giving the power to the projects and the creators themselves on whether or not they want to do the royalties on, and what percentage that they want to do that at. So um, we originated kind of on the Cronos side. And here lately, we've kind of just branched, well, not too lately, but 8 months roughly, we've been on Polygon. So we've got two chains, slowly by surely, um, you know, making sure that each one of them is sustainable, and that the community is there. And Yeah, that's pretty much Corgi Studio platform in a nutshell. Now, outside of the platform, what we, our community wise is just pretty integrated and quite diverse, honestly. We have a cross chain community, Cronos and Polygon. We host roughly four spaces a week, and we've got a couple collaboration spaces as well. Our community, like I said, is quite integrated. It goes from projects and the creators themselves to the community members also. So, it's really one of those places that we have kind of given a safe area for the marketplace, the projects, and the community members to kind of just come together, integrate, be transparent, ask questions. And for all of us just to kind of be an ecosystem, build and thrive off of each other. And that's what we're all about, is just the community and the organicness, and just really just trying to be there as an ecosystem. So yeah, that's Corgi Studio, kind of, from the platform community side. Like I said, it's multiple projects and various community members that are from multiple chains.
Yeah, no, I love that. I love the cross chain, approach to it too as well. And you kind of get a lot of people that say that you have to be a chain maxi, right? Like you have to, like, there's people like whether it be on Polygon, ETH, Solana, that are very much like chain maxis, right? And we're starting to see kind of the sentiment kind of like change in that spectrum. Like people want to go to other chains and actually see what other people are building, right? Making connections and all those things. And crypto writer, you yourself, like, do you believe in the cross chain narrative, or you're kind of more of like you have to kind of be more of kind of a chain maxi? Like, what's kind of your take on all that?
That's a really good question. I think you have to kind of experience the different chains in order to kind of find what fits you.
Mhm.
As a developer, or even as a community member in a way. Um, it's good to learn and know. You have to have that knowledge and that information in order to make it like an informative decision, right? You don't want
Yeah.
to just partake into something and not really know what's happening or what's going on. But at the end of the day, sometimes you kind of just find that niche,
Yeah.
of where you want to be, where you like to be. So I wouldn't say you have to be a maxi. I don't say that, you have to be, all chain compatible as well either. I think it just matters on the individuals and how they're able to navigate through those different either the developments on those chains, and how they what they want to build, or them themselves as a community member or a holder and investor.
Yeah, no, that's definitely like like great. Like I said, I'm more kind of like the middle. I like certain chains, but also I'm open to actually going to, like, for instance, like Say has been kind of on fire lately too as well. Of course, Chronos too as well, and kind of getting to Chronos, right? Like, one, like, how has it been kind of like on Cronos, right? 'Cause I haven't really experienced Cronos just yet. I'm trying to get some projects on from there too as well. Like, one, how is actually building on Cronos been, right? Actually, you know what? I take that back. I actually had factions on from Cronos. They actually came over from Cronos. So, but one, how is building on Cronos been, right? And then two, how has also Polygon been in your 8 month stay here as well?
Yeah, no, Kronos, like I said, was kind of our roots or origins. So, I would have to say the experience has been great and awesome. Kronos definitely has a diehard Crow fam. The culture and the community are just all for it. You get a lot of people coming in from the centralized app. And when they jump into the decentralized or the DeFi side, you definitely have to have a lot of patience as far as understanding and learning that a lot of the people need to, you have to teach them and show them how to import the different tokens. The buildability, has, we've been able to build a sustainable platform for us. Has it been a grind and a struggle? Yeah, absolutely. When we came into and actually started building, the bull had ended and the bear had just begun. So yeah, the grind had literally just started. All the fun time was over, and it was like work, grind, hustle. You've got to put in the time and the effort, and that's just kind of how our founder he understood, and he treated this more like a startup business. And you know you're gonna put in a bunch of money to invest into it, and you're gonna realize you're not gonna get a bunch back. But here today, I could safely say we've got over 103 live mints currently. And that's just been one of our focus points, or one of the things that we've been able to thrive on, has just been that volume on our launch pad. And there's been so many projects that come and use the launch pad, and the numbers are just countless. I want to say it's got to be over 400. It's quite a good number. I know, like I said, today it's 108. Now, kind of just shifting over to the Polygon side, Polygon has been quite amazing. It's got cost effectiveness for the development side as well. And the community has been great as well. Just kind of navigating and growing through. It's taken a minute to kind of find our niche and our slipstream. But we kind of found it, and now just been kind of just swimming through it and just allowing the flow to kind of just take over. And pretty much when you're, already built a platform and forking it over, it all just kind of upgrades anyways. But, the community has just been great in embracing us. And we're just extremely happy to be along for the ride and just for the opportunity. And it's been awesome.
Yeah, no, like definitely. We're definitely happy to have y'all here and all that great stuff though. But kind of getting back to the actual Corgi like NFTs themselves, right? Like, I don't know if you can able to answer this though, but like why a Corgi? Is there like a hidden kind of meaning behind that though? But like, yeah, like why a Corgi?
Corgi was our founder. He was our founder, our mascot. He has since passed. But yeah, he was the inspiration. He was our founder. Yeah.
That's great. I definitely like hearing that. And the actual NFTs themselves, right? You have them like, of course on Cronos, and then on Polygon too as well. Like what some of the perks you can kind of get with holding these NFTs?
Yeah, so the design of the NFTs themselves, we had to get creative. We wanted to get creative and give it more of a functionality. So I'll just kind of both the NFTs on Cronos and Polygon have pretty much the same utilities currently, and that's pretty much going to give you discounts as far as our NFT swap feature. We have also a royalty distribution feature as well. So it'll give you discounts into those. It's up to 50% on the NFT swap. It's up to 40% on the royalty distribution. You also get a discount for the staking pools. We have, like I said, over 60 on Cronos, staking pools on Cronos. And holding 5 of those corgis gives you the max discount on that. 3 is kind of the midpoint, and then 1 is the entry. But a lot of it's just built around and designed around the platform in itself. We also like to give our holders kind of like that whitelist special price when it comes to mints as well. So a lot of the times you'll see like a Corgi holder price that we've instilled. Now, one thing that we've done on Cronos that we didn't do on Polygon is we have a staking pool for our reward token, which is CRS. And, we haven't done that yet on Polygon. And that's because, we've decided that we want to have something that's a lot more creative, functionality a lot better, and also engaging. We want something better. We want to give back. And, we're that's all I can say about that for right now.
Yeah.
So
before you get in trouble and all that.
Yeah, I'll get in trouble.
Yeah, no. I like that too as well. And kind of like, what's the kind of like, you guys have this launch pad, right? What is the kind of vetting process you have when a project comes to you and they want to use your launchpad?
Yeah, no, that's a good question. We have a DIY launchpad, do it yourself, right? So our platform is fairly open to anybody who wants to come and use it. So a lot of the times there are launches that we don't even know are happening or going on. We're always here as far as anybody who wants to reach out and ask questions and be a part of our community and ecosystem. And we do offer a free KYC for everybody as well. So we do have two different sections. We have a KYC verified on the very front page, and then you have to actually manually click into your unverified section in order to go into those non KYC'd projects. But a lot of this has just been kind of a DIY platform. And that's just because we want to kind of cater to the pioneer, the entrepreneur. A lot of this has just kind of been decentralized. And, it's just about putting the power into these creators.
No, no, I like that. I definitely like that too, as well. And kind of, you're all here on Polygon, here on Cronos, right? And as far as you can tell, is there any other chains that you guys would like to add in the future, or you guys are maybe have been tossed around thinking about, or you get just focusing right now on Polygon and Cronos?
Yeah, so currently we want to focus on Cronos and Polygon one step at a time. We don't want to overstretch, overreach. Like I said, we like to focus on our community. And we want to make sure that everything is functional, sustainable. And we're not just hopping and branching out in chains. And, it's really easy. It could take a week to actually fork over and put in another chain. That's not the problem. The issue is just being able to give that undivided attention and make sure that the quality is there. And every day we're updating, and every day that we're coming up with new strategies on how we can actually upgrade and get to the next level.
Yeah, no, that's great. I like you're not overextending yourself and not trying to do like take on too much, and I definitely like that. But for people that don't know Kronos, right? Like, and the NFT kind of like marketplace, like in your opinion, like besides you guys, like what are some of the top projects on there that maybe they would like to get into? Anybody watching this would maybe want to venture over to the Kronos that maybe they should be getting into?
Mad Meerkats, 100%. Also, there are a couple others. I mean, if you want to go to now you're talking about just Cronos and not CDC, right? The crypto.com, because there's the two different chains. I know they get kind of confusing. One's the centralized and one's the decentralized. So if we're talking about just a Cronos chain, I would say the Mad Meerkats for sure.
Yeah.
And there's a few others as well. I know like something like Liminal's Kingdom. But yeah, I mean, there's quite a few. But in my book, I would say the Mad Meerkats for sure.
I've heard a lot about the Mad Meerkats actually, so that's really good. I'm trying to actually get them on the show too as well, because everybody keeps mentioning them. Hey, you got to look into them. You got to look into them. So definitely want to give them a talk to it as well. Now, as far as and we're having like this NFTs right now are down basically, right, and kind of across the board, right. Crypto, of course, is kind of up right now, but NFTs right now it seems that like kind of like down. Do you think that that's actually just the market itself, or do you think people are kind of more tired of like PFP projects? They actually want kind of like more utility out of the NFTs?
No, that's a great question. And I think for me, my opinion, and this is just how I get into this, I understand that the NFT is art, right? And, everything else is just a bonus from this point. So as far as expectations now, yeah, I mean, the classifications of the different projects is extremely important when you're actually going in and buying these. As far as the expectations from the holders and the investors themselves, yeah, I can say a lot are expecting more and demanding more. But at the same time, I feel that there's a lot of communities and a lot of people out there that are still out here enjoying the art, and I don't think that might be prevalent on different chains. But if you go look at something like Tezos, it's extremely a big community when it comes to just straight art. And I think a lot of people have just kind of got the stigma and have just kind of been beat over the head with this idea of utility.
Hmm.
And I don't think it's necessarily important, but I still think that there are chains that have this culture and this stigma or mentality that they are needing additional utility. And I think that just varies by chain, or as far as the culture or the community in itself. Um, yeah, it's just yeah.
Yeah, no,
Did
and
that did
exactly.
that?
Go ahead.
Oh, I just wanted to make sure. Did that answer that kind of?
Yeah, yeah, it did. And actually, kind of asking you as an investor too, as well. Like when people say like utility, people are like, kind of like beat everybody over the head with it, right? Like, hey, you got to have this, got to have that. Like, one, like, what does utility mean to you?
Yeah, so utility is like pretty much usability. When somebody describes utility to me, it doesn't necessarily always have to be a monetized a reward. I mean, there could be access to certain things. Whether it's a game, whether it's even entering into like a DAO. Utility can just kind of be defined in various ways to me. I think a lot of times when you hear utility, people expect a monetized reward. They expect some kind of money back. And I just think the definition of it just kind of has to be explained a little bit better. But yeah, utility to me just can be various of things. So
Yeah, no, not exactly. And just say people use. I remember when I first got hit with that, and I was like, oh man, don't know exactly what I'm actually looking for myself until I actually had to kind of sit down and actually define that myself, though. But as we're talking about NFTs in general, right? We're talking about like marketplaces and everything like that. And as far as the NFT tech itself, right? Do you see it kind of being used like in the next kind of like 5 years and evolving and actually having that kind of like adoption? Or do you see it kind of just kind of falling by the wayside and just kind of like eventually kind of being phased out? Like, what is your opinion on NFT tech in general?
yeah, so in my opinion, I actually see the NFTs becoming some sort of like identification, maybe like your bus pass, maybe your driver's license, maybe your
Mhm.
entry into different concerts, events, movies. I mean, it's just the versatility of what an NFT can actually do and be. Whether that's in 5 years, I think we can only hope. But that's just my hope for what NFTs can become and what they will become. I mean, on the other end, you can look at the digitals. It's just another form of authentication in IRL. And at the same time, you can look at your digital asset as far as like your real estate. Yeah. I mean, I think it can actually come into real world use and just a form of authentication.
No, I definitely agree on that part too as well. We'll get a little bit more adoption here, I think, in this kind of next run too. But I also want to ask you, we're talking about NFTs, right? But Web3 is this huge ecosystem, right? Is there any other bullish parts of Web3 that you like, whether it be like gaming or RWAs or gamified? Like in this next kind of run we're going to have, like where do you see some sectors are actually going to be blowing up, in your opinion?
Gamify for sure, 100%. I think the Gamify is just going to explode. And I really think that's really where a lot of the mass adoption is going to come from,
Oh,
is from the gamified. Yeah, because I think, it's got to enter into the mass somehow. And I think the gamification is just going to be the simplest way. And not just the simplest way, but I think it's just the most cohesive um, as far as what we want on our side on the blockchain, and then what the gamer themselves wants. But I think gamification is going to be the actual catalyst here.
yeah, no, definitely. And I'm really bullish on that. And actually, um, RWAs, Gamblefy too as well. I think that's going to be a big thing too as well. And as far as we're kind of like getting into kind of Web3, and this has all been like kind of like great and everything like that. But is there some things about Web3 that you don't like that you wish would kind of go away?
Yeah, no, that's a good question. Not yet. I can't say anything quite yet. I don't have anything.
Yeah,
Nothing
no,
comes to mind.
I think honestly it would be like some of the toxicity sometimes too. I think it kind of can be like weird, like how like bad we can kind of get. But yeah, no, like it's like I said, it's just Web3 is kind of growing. So it's very interesting to see on kind of like where we kind of like go, kind of like in the future, like with all this bull run that we're gonna have and the halving coming up, and also too what I also want to ask you is that in your time on Polygon, right? And you guys have been here like kind of like building and everything like that. Like, has the foundation itself been very open to you, and like has the founders or whatever it is that you need, have they been very like kind of receptive to you guys, and have they gotten back to you guys quick? Or can you kind of like explain like how that's been for you guys?
Yeah, I mean, it's actually been quite open arms. You know, it's been here recently. We definitely have been able to kind of discuss and meet a lot of the different founders, a lot of the different communities. I've been on Polygon myself for quite a bit of time, and I've been in different communities kind of quietly, maybe, and yeah, I mean, Polygon, it's just been great. Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's great to hear. I like the fact that everybody in general has said that like all the founders and everything like that have been just very like easy to reach and everything like that. So I just want people to watch this interview that if they're thinking about coming on building on here, just know that you can get a hold of like the people that you need pretty quick. You're not being left on red or all those things too as well. And kind of like with Corgi Studio, crypto writer, where would you like to see Corgi Studio at the end of the year, right? Like, where would you guys like to be a year from now?
Yeah, I think at the by the end of the year, we definitely like to have a lot more projects in a bigger ecosystem. I think that's just kind of what all of our all the marketplaces would kind of want. We're quite organic. We're not quite an aggregator. And I'm not saying we're not going to become one either. But I think organic community is kind of what sets us apart. So when it comes to like time and speed, by the end of the year, I just see our community growing bigger, more community members, more projects and founders, just kind of a part of us, and just kind of spreading that love and awareness. At the end of the day, I do want to see a lot more development kind of on the platform itself, and that's coming. There's definitely a couple key things that we have implemented, and yeah.
No, that's definitely like good too as well. You guys, it looks like you guys are very organic. Your community is great. They raid like crazy, and I love that too as well. And also too, real quick before you kind of like go, crypto.com, Cronos, right? People kind of get those kind of confused too as well. But meme season's kind of like been here, right? And we've been having all these like memes coming in. Crypto.com, of course, lists a lot of like meme tokens and everything like that. Like, what is your take on meme tokens, right? And do they actually like hurt crypto in general, or do you actually think they have a place in Web3?
Yeah, no, that's a good question. I think that meme tokens themselves can be extremely beneficial.
Mm-hmm.
It can also be hurtful a little bit. But at the same time, I think that if done properly, the liquidity can actually just flow in quite well. Um, yeah, I think meme tokens are fun. They're exciting. They're definitely something to kind of get involved with. I know there's a couple of different tokens that I like to just have fun with, like Gon token, Kulo. They're just really fun to kind of just hop in those chats and just see what
Yeah.
everybody's doing and how it's popping off. It's just great to see the different gifs and the different memes that these people come up with.
Yeah, no,
Yeah, no, I think it's healthy and exciting. The only thing about the memes that causes that can be an issue is that if you're not a part of that 5% side of them, and you're on the win side, it can cause that mood swing sometimes, with people. And yeah, I mean that's the only part about it. But obviously, at the end of the day, that's a trader, and you got to do your own research on whether or not you're in or out, and um, you know and that's just anything in itself when it comes to investing and actually trading. And just to say something like this, I know us, for example, now that you're like talking about tokens, I would say expect there to be a drop or a launch, an announcement on a CRS token from the actual platform in itself,
Oh,
possibly coming out here soon. So
damn, definitely. I'll have to get with you on that too. That's definitely interesting to hear. And crypto writer, you did mention earlier. I kind of want to get back to it that you have spaces. Can you kind of tell the people like when are your spaces or what kind of spaces they can find you guys in?
yeah, so we have man, we got like 6 different spaces that we really have dedicated ourselves
Mhm.
into. Monday, like today, we co-host with NFT Unity. And
Okay.
that's just kind of like it's a cross-chain collaboration space that we have kind of done with a bunch of ETH people and Tez as well, and with us here at Corgi. It's just a great space for all of us to we've kind of grown this organically from a couple of months, just making sure that everybody is just on the same page. Everybody like is just it's just a it's a really positive environment, and it's been going well. So that's Monday at 9 a.m. PST. Um, Tuesday through Thursday, I host our Corgi Studio space at 10 a.m. PST, and it could vary on what the actual topics and the themes are. We have different co-hosts or guests, but we really try to keep things quite organic and transparent for our community to have the opportunity to come up and speak if we have guests or just to be a part of the actual panel. We don't necessarily have too many projects coming up and chill. And that's just because we don't want to have that kind of environment. We want it more about the community and the holders and the members, and for them to just be able to discuss anything that they want or want to see. And on Friday, we actually, what we do is we've actually put All Roads Lead to Polygon and QuickSwap into our itinerary. So we go support them. And that's actually quite a few of the projects in our ecosystem that have just kind of adopted that and what they do at All Roads Lead to Polygon and QuickSwap. They're great. I think it's important for ecosystem to incorporate kind of everybody. Not just the marketplace, the projects and the community members, but the decks as well. And the chain here soon as well. We want to have them in our spaces in the near future. And after the Always Did a Polygon space, we have the Wrap It Up Friday, where we just kind of go over some of the different things that we went on during the week. If anybody missed it, we kind of talk about the price of Crow or Matic, and kind of the top traders on the platform, and what's currently launching and what's not launching, and then we just kind of vibe and chill. A lot of it's just vibe and chill community space. And then we have, 2 other spaces of people that we actually go out and support. I would have to say the Metal Power Hour is somebody that we support. And then also Alien Studios is a project within our ecosystem that's a part of our itinerary that we go and support as a community as well. So.
I appreciate you, crypto writer, and kind of like before you're gonna go, is there any community members you want to shout out, or anybody in general you want to shout out?
Yeah, man, I definitely want to give a shout out to like the medals. They've been amazing. They've been a blessing. Subi as well. He's been with us for a long part of the journey. Dougie Fresh. Yeah, we've got Mr. J as well. West Coast Zen Doodle. Wow, there's so many people to kind of go through. And yeah, I just want to shout out to Brandon and the Dank Dealers. And yeah, just really appreciate everything that the Corgis do and with us. I mean, without them, we wouldn't be here today. And it's just nice to know that they support us.
No, definitely great, and I appreciate you, Crypto Writer, for coming on. And guys, please follow Crypto Writer on X2 as well. Follow Corgi Studios. And guys, if you like content like this, please like, comment, share, subscribe. Also follow me on X2 as well. And guys, I will see you around on the next one. Take care.